Coach, you got another solid outing there from Matt and finished with another career high. Just
That was solid, wasn't it? It's one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. You know, he went right from the beginning. I mean, the first two he made, I mean, he got it off so quick. I mean, they were on it. You know, I mean, he made 7 in the last game. They were on it. You know, and they do a great job with scouting. And he just pulled the trigger. And once he got going, he was on fire.
Have you ever seen a stretch like this from any player that you've ever coached, or just 3 games?
Never.
Even in practice, like he's always been a good scorer, but even in practice in your 2 years here, have you ever seen Matt just get in his zone like that?
You know, in practice, he has done that. Yeah, he has. I've seen it before. But, you know, the thing about him is he puts the time in. You know, he's getting extra shots up. On off days, he's in there getting 500 up all summer long. You know, when we moved into this facility, I mean, you know, we've got the shooting gun. I mean, he's in here all the time.
Coach, you talk about the great players that you've coached along the way. Some have made it to the NBA. Where does this 2-game stretch for Matt rank in your mind with some of the greats you coached?
You know, most of those guys were front court guys. You know, Troy Murphy, Pat Garrity. Now, Pat Garrity was a jump shooting 4. Alfonso Ellis had a stretch. I remember, I mean, we played USC in LA, and then we played LaSalle in Philly, and we played Carolina in the Garden. And we drilled all 3 of them. We just rode him. And off of those 3 games, he became the 5th pick in the draft. So, I mean, I think Matt is making a name for himself to be somebody to be considered to be drafted, and certainly making a push for all league, and, you know, should be in the 3-point contest at the Final Four, I think. He deserves that.
Coach, was there no bad shot? I mean, with the way he was shooting them over defenders, overhand.
No, we were just going to him, and he could shoot. Yeah, he had the total green. But he has the green light anyway, Rick, to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever told him, hey, that was a bad shot. I don't ever want to put that into a shooter's head anyway.
The way all the attention gets on the final shot when it goes up, but what goes into that as far as his movement before he gets the ball?
Well, I mean, he obviously works hard. Now, we were setting him up. You know, in the beginning, he was getting it on his own. And then once they really started locking into him, we had to start setting him up and running some picking action for him. And he's really good at that. I mean, he knows when to wait, when to go, when to set his man up, how to set his man up. He's terrific.
When you look at these last 2 games, right off the bat, you take it to Indiana, first half. Right off the bat, Wisconsin, you take it to them. Now that you're nearing the end of year 2, how satisfying is it to see the guys come out and play that way?
There's nothing better because, you know, whenever we would have a loss and we would seemingly be frustrated with how we played, or, you know, the reality is I just wanted I mean, these kids are working hard for me. They have bought in from day one and given me everything they've had. And ultimately, if you see me get frustrated with the officials or with them, I just wanted for them. And to be able to see them kind of enjoy all this hard work and see the students rush the floor, and it's the 4th-ranked team we've beaten this year. You know, it just goes to show you what they're capable of doing. And who knows where we're headed right now.
Well, along those lines, what does it say about your team when you face an opponent like Wisconsin on 2 occasions and both times you're able to come away with victories?
Well, that's a very difficult team to beat. I mean, their style of play, you know, they turn the ball over 13 times. That's the most they've turned it over this year. They don't turn it over. You know, they out-rebound us. We out-rebounded them up there. So normally, you know, we had 13. Normally, you have more turnovers than them, and they out-rebound you. So they usually start with that. And those are 2 hard things to overcome. Now you got to shoot a little better percentage. You got to do the free throw line a little bit more, make some more threes, whatever. And normally, they make more threes than you. So now, you know, we made more threes, and the others were pretty even. You know, and I thought Melson's 3 blocks in the second half were huge for us.
But how important was the start of the second half? You can't have a red hot first half, and you think, well, they can't sustain that, and then you came out and took it right to it.
We did, you know, and I think that was important. We talked about that, and you know, everybody in that situation wants for that to be the case. We knew it was our ball. That was helpful, and you know that helped. That gave us a little bit of a cushion.
You talk about Matt making a push for all league. Can you just talk about? I mean, do you think he's maybe one of the more underrated guys in the Big Ten, or maybe kind of goes unnoticed on national?
Well, you know, I'd like to think that now he's going to start to get the kind of accolades he deserves. You know, because because of him, the team is doing better, and they're going to start talking about us more, and it's going to be because of him. And you know, I said it after the Penn State game. The thing that was frustrating for me was that we weren't able to ride his performance in the second half to victory, like we did the last two games. Because he certainly, I mean, we were down double digits. He hits 5 in a row. We're right there. So, you know, we're just going to have to be ready on Sunday.